Hello and welcome to JVYD. In today's program, we're going to be looking at the courage to be vulnerable. The courage to be vulnerable, because that's the key to building intimacy without losing yourself. The courage to be vulnerable is the key to building strong intimacy while maintaining yourself. Hello and welcome to JBYD. Welcome to JBYD just before you do. Today we're looking at the courage to be vulnerable. The courage to be vulnerable. That is, the courage to build intimate relationship without losing the essence of who you are, of your person. Vulnerability is the courage to be fully seen in your whole person, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, without you having to hide behind any masks. Vulnerability is the willingness for you and I to say, this is who I am, with all my flaws, with all my blemish, with all my fears and my dreams. And I'm entrusting you with all of that. That, my friend, is a price, is a precious price that anybody pays for good and strong, intimate relationship. We are all vulnerable, but your vulnerability is when you are willing to reveal yourself, including your innermost thoughts, those feelings that you keep to yourself, those fears that you have, the desires of your heart, even your insecurities. When you are ready to carry all those risks, because that's what it is, it's a risk. When you are willing and you are ready to eject them, to share them with somebody, knowing fully well there is a big chance, there is the possibility that this person will either misunderstand you or hold it over your head. Vulnerability is a conscious choice that we all make to be emotionally open, to be honest, to hold nothing back. But you see, what it does is it builds trust in a relationship. It creates room for intimacy to grow because it allows for deeper connection with your authentic self. There are many actors and actresses it's all about, but the real ones, the real people who want real and strong relationship, one of the biggest prices that you pay is the price of being vulnerable. In every intimate relationships, vulnerability means expressing your real emotions without fear of being judged or being condemned. It is your willingness to admit your weaknesses and share with somebody else your past wounds, your past disappointments, your past heartbreaks. It is you communicating your needs and your desires to the other person honestly, openly, hoping and believing that they will do good with it. What am I saying? You cannot experience deep love without being willing, without being committed to risking it all, without putting yourself out there for the possibility of being hurt. And that, my friend, is what vulnerability is about. Vulnerability is the cost of true relationship. See, many people avoid vulnerability. They avoid being exposed. They avoid sharing their deep inner self with anybody because they feel unsafe. And rightly so. Because let's face it, many of us we've stepped out into that water as it were, and we've been burnt. we've been taken advantage of because of it. But a lot of people are holding back from being vulnerable because they feel unsafe. They feel they feel fear of rejection. If I show my flaws, what if they walk? What if they don't love me anymore? What if they don't see me the way they used to see me? Some are afraid of judgment, of people being judgmental. They want to respect me. They won't respect me rather if they know everything about me. They will hold it against me. Some are afraid of being vulnerable because they don't want the other person to now use it to control them, which is a tendency that we all have. If I reveal my weaknesses, what if they start using it against me? I can't take it back because I've shared it with them. See, the reality is this. All these fears are real. All these fears, they are natural. They are also, by the way, they are also keeping you disconnected. They are denying you, they're robbing you of the possibility of establishing a strong and genuine relationship. Because without emotional risks, without vulnerabilities, relationship will stagnate in shallow waters. You will do relationship on the surface, the highs and the buys, and nothing else. There's a link, there's a connection between being vulnerable and having intimate connection. There is a connection between vulnerability and intimacy at the deep level. Whether that connection is emotional, whether it is spiritual, whether it is physical, intimacy in its true self cannot exist without vulnerability. Because when you are intimate, when you are in an intimate relationship with somebody, what you are saying is, into me, see into me, see the depth of my heart, see what I am outside of this shell that I'm portraying. Intimacy is the act of somebody truly seeing the inside thoughts, the fears, the dreams that is deep, very deep in your soul. When partners, when people in a relationship, when they hide behind emotional walls, when they hold back from conversations that they should have, when they keep their relationship outside or without the risk of vulnerability, that relationship will stay at surface level. Conflicts within that relationship will remain unsolved. They will just be swept under the carpet. And the unfortunate thing is the relationship itself will feel just functional, not fulfilling. It becomes a transaction, not a relationship. Also, when vulnerability flows, when you are truly vulnerable one with another, it deepens your trust. It makes you grow closer emotionally. It also helps you to understand some of the roots of the conflicts and helps you to resolve them quickly, because that connection is not just surface, it is deep, it is to the core. It evolves from the depth of your being. Now, don't get me wrong. It is one thing to be vulnerable. It is one thing to want to be vulnerable. It's a different story entirely when you become oversharing. You can be vulnerable, just don't overshare. TMI, as I say, too much information. It's not the same thing as being vulnerable. Vulnerability invites connection, but oversharing, it overwhelms connection. When you overshare, when you overload people, they avoid you. Then when you are vulnerable, when people see that you are pouring out your inner self, they are open, they are more receptive, and more than that, they also will want to share with you as well of their own fears and their own concern. So it is important that you practice healthy vulnerability, sharing at the right place, sharing with the right people, sharing at the right time, and sharing the right volume or quantity. Faith teaches us that love thrives where grace meets openness. When you are open, when you are vulnerable, people tend to extend to you a greater level of grace and tolerance and understanding. Just like when you trust God, you become more secure in your relationship with Him. So much so that you don't come to Him with any protection, as it were. You come to Him with your walls down, with your guards down, and just be open with Him. Healthy vulnerability is gradual, it's open, and it allows trust to grow per time. But when you overshare, you're sharing too much, too soon, and too often, it negates the purpose of closeness in that relationship. Vulnerability is you sharing your feelings to connect. But oversharing is you sharing to seek validation. And these are some of the differences between the two. Vulnerability is balanced. You listen and you share. But when it is oversharing, it is one-sided, just going at 100 miles an hour without stopping, without even giving room to the other person. It becomes a one-sided emotional dumping. And people will avoid you for that. Vulnerability creates safety and intimacy, but oversharing creates pressure and discomfort. So again, there's a thin line between you being vulnerable and you oversharing. So I don't know in what relationship you are in right now. I don't know how deep and how connected this your relationship as at now. But the question you must ask yourself, the question you must answer, and if need be, the question you need to ask the other person is, do you think I am being vulnerable, or am I just oversharing? Do you think I am being open and honest, or am I just using you as my dumping ground for all the baggages and the issues that I carry? Quickly, how do you cultivate healthy vulnerability? How to cultivate healthy vulnerability. Step one, know your own emotional landscape. Know yourself. Until you know yourself, you are not able to share yourself. Spend time to understand yourself. Spend time to understand, identify your triggers. Know what causes you to be afraid. What are your needs? What are your heart desires? What is that pain that you are secretly nursing? And one of the ways to identify this thing is for you to maybe go into praying, maybe start journaling, maybe start clarifying things in your head, so that when you begin to share, you not share out of just wanting to know. There's a deep reason behind it. Number two, choose safe people to be vulnerable with. It is not everyone that has earned an access to your deeper self. Not everyone. It doesn't matter if you've been with them, you've known them for the past 18 years or the past 3 years. It is not everybody that has earned the access, the key to your deeper self. So share your vulnerability with those who have over time demonstrated respect for your boundaries. empathy for your confidentiality, consistent in their action. These are the people that should know about the deeper part of who you are. Number three, start small. Practice vulnerability in a gradual format. Share your day-to-day struggles first. See how they handle it. Then progress to sharing your past wounds, your dreams, your trust, and over time, build that trust as you go along. Beware also of that thin line that we talked about between vulnerability and oversharing. Step four, communicate your needs clearly. It is one thing that you share your fears, your concern, but remember, clarity fosters connection, but assumptions create distance. Nobody is a mind reader, not even people who claim to have crystal ball. So instead of you hoping and assuming that they will know what you mean, don't hide your needs. Don't hide it to express your desire. Make it easy for them to understand by making it clear, making it plain. Say things like, I feel overwhelmed right now and I need your reassurance in this area. Step five, create a space, a safe space for others. Because it is one thing for you to be the one sharing your vulnerabilities. What if it's the other person wanting to share their vulnerabilities with you? You need to create a space, a safe space for them to do that. Why? Because vulnerability is reciprocal. If you want openness, if you want people to listen, if you want people to have empathy, if you want people to try and understand, put themselves in your shoes, then you need to be prepared to do the same for others. How? Listen without judgment. Avoid weaponizing what they've told you to use against them somewhere down the line. Offer empathy before you try to find solutions for them, because in most cases that's not what they don't want your solution, they just want you to listen. Step six, anchor your security in God. You see, true vulnerability requires a secure foundation. When your identity rests in Christ, rejection will hurt you less because you know you're already accepted in the beloved. Your worth is not determined by their opinions. You've already established that your worth is in God, and He said you are beloved. Step seven, practice conversation starters to practice vulnerabilities. Practice how to prep a vulnerability conversation before you become vulnerable to people. What do I mean by that? Let me give you some examples of prompts that you can use. Number one, say things like, you know, one thing I've been scared to share with you over the years is da 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 da. That gets their attention that what you're about to say is important to you and to the relationship. Say things like, I feel hurt when da 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 da. And I like to talk about it with you. Now they know they owe, if nothing else, they owe you their audience, because you've already started by saying, I feel hurt when this happens and I need to talk to you about it. Or you say things like, one of my dreams for the future is. Anybody who is in a relationship with you wants to know what your dream for tomorrow is. Or you go to your friend, the people you're in a relationship with, and you say, sometimes I'm struggling with, and I love your perspective about it. What do you think? What are your thoughts? You see, being vulnerable doesn't mean you know it all. It's not even that you are particularly seeking their solution. In most cases, being vulnerable is you saying, I need help. Will you just listen? Finally, being vulnerable doesn't mean you are weak. Vulnerability is not weakness. In fact, I will go as far as to say being vulnerable is the highest form of courage. Oh, yes, it will cost you. It will cost you your comfort. It will cost you your ego. It will cost you your control. It will cost you other things. But you see, the reward of it is deep, sincere, and genuine intimacy, true love, and deeper level of trust. Choosing to be vulnerable is knowing and choosing and electing to go for connection over fear. And that, my friend, is the price of truly knowing and being known. When you choose connection rather than to live in fear. I know I've said a lot today, and this is just on the surface. So if you'd like me to maybe put together a complete interactive vulnerability toolkit that will help you, please just drop a comment and leave a comment below and let me know if that is something you would like for me to get into, to prepare an interactive vulnerability toolkit that you can take away and use for yourself. Let me know in the comment below, and don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe to this channel, because we're going to be doing this over and over and over again. And I thank you for your time. Thank you.